Church Guys podcast. I am one of your four hosts. I'm DJ Free along with Brett Irwin, Craig Locke, Quentin Locke. This is going to be our very first episode that we're recording.
Maiden voyage.
Looking forward to it. Just a little bit about us. We're going to go around and give each host a chance to introduce themselves, tell a little bit about them, and then go into what the podcast is going to be about. So who wants to go first?
My name is Brett Easy Irwin. I'm the president, CEO, and co-founder of this here podcast. If you ever need any kind of IT help or whatever, you just let me know. I got a online degree. I'm a firefighter, paramedic. I'm also an instructor of EMT Basic at Rains High School. Hey, I had my second day today. It was good, by the way.
Matt, Wildcats?
They are the Wildcats. The Rains Wildcat, like rains, like what it's doing outside today. Praise the Lord. And I'm super excited.
I'm Craig Locke, pastor of Willow Springs Missionary Baptist Church. Been in Edgewood for 23 years, enjoying life, and ready to see what happens.
I am the youngest of the members. I'm Quentin Locke, the son of pastor over here, Craig Locke. And I've been here 22 years also. Excited for this podcast.
Did you move here a year after us?
I'm going to be the fourth host of this show. I'm DJ Free.
Most important.
I am the most important host. You are correct.
Host with the most.
I'm the one that Brett was making fun of with the IT career because that is me.
Online
It is an online degree, but it is from an accredited university. So,
and I will never get it. I give you props. I give you props.
So just a little bit about our podcast show. It's going to be a mixture of sports talk.
Sports!
Of the sports ball. Anything from football, basketball, baseball. What's the one thing we're not?
Probably
Soccer.
golf.
No soccer.
Field hockey.
We'll talk about golf.
Well, wait, time out. Is there really no soccer? Because what about when FIFA World Cup starts?
We're not talking about it.
Why not?
I don't even like
Sport.
talking about a video game.
That's the only time I ever watch soccer is when the World Cup comes on.
Yeah, but it's never USA. It's always other countries.
Well, that's because the USA doesn't know how to play soccer.
That's why.
we know how to play the
let's talk
American
about Brazil
football.
and Spain in the final, I don't know.
You know,
See, look, I got you talking about soccer and you didn't even realize it. So,
it worked.
hockey, I guess.
Nah,
Do we really watch hockey?
maybe if the Stars go to the playoffs, but I don't keep up enough.
Yeah, that'll happen when the Rangers are good.
Yeah.
I think our primary sports is going to be football and baseball, basketball. Maybe a little baseball, but football.
I'll
and
talk
basketball.
baseball if it's minor. Then the serious aspect of the show is we're going to get into. We want to be not the normal sports show that you hear every day. We are going to throw in some real life situations along with some spiritual and Christian outlook. Get into some situations and studying the Bible, things like that. So that way, throwing in that godly aspect. So that way, we're kind of a well-rounded show. It's the reason we have a preacher on the show.
Yes, well-rounded, like our host.
That's why we're called the church guys.
I thought it was because we were recording in the church.
In the church, from the church, around the church,
To the church, about
To
the
the
church.
church.
to the church, about the church. There you go.
I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. The way that this whole thing came about is a funny story because Quentin, Craig, and I, and my wife Stephanie, my son Hudson, were in a van headed to watch
The river.
No.
In a van down by the river.
We were nowhere near. We were in Denton. We were actually going to watch Liberty in North Texas play, and somehow we got on the subject of we were talking sports, and somehow that rolled into, hey, we should do a podcast. And a year later, here we are.
Finally, a year later.
Finally, after a lot of talk and the prolonging that it would come about. So
We were wanting to get this started around January. I believe it was like end of December, early January. But then we were like, oh, we need to get equipment probably to run a podcast. So it took us about 8 months to get everybody equipment and then get a room. And then here
a
we are.
second room.
Finally here.
And we got kicked out of that other one.
Yeah, but for a good reason.
And I'm here just because I'm guilty by association.
You're here because you're the storyteller. Hopefully.
I look at it as every show has to have a comedic relief.
They can't see my face.
It's a good thing because you got to pay for radio.
Amen. Never get truth.
So that's a little bit about Joe.
What are some other things that we're wanting to accomplish with this show? What are we going to plan on? Like when are our release dates?
For right now, I think the main goal for release dates is going to be at least twice a month. Probably be the second and fourth week of the month because that'll give us time to record and produce and edit and re-edit.
Find something to talk about.
There's that
True.
aspect. That's
You
the
gotta
most important
research.
part
You can't
is to find something to talk about.
That's funny you say that. I've already came prepared.
I figured.
Story
got-
time with Brett, episode 1. Who
No,
knew
I
it was
don't hype
happening
it up
so
that
fast?
good, okay? I'm not that grand.
Hold on, people.
I don't
We'll be
blame
through
you.
shortly.
I don't blame you. All right. Here's some examples of my research, and you'll like this, okay?
Kinda scared.
Has anybody heard of this guy that I can't find his name? Have you heard of him yet? Have you heard of him?
I've not heard of him.
I'm trying to pull it up on my phone right here. Okay. He is a high school football coach, and his name is Coach Joe Kennedy. You heard of him? You should have. See, Craig's shaking his head yes. You just gotta say yes. The mic doesn't record your nods. Coach Joe Kennedy. He's actually been talked about in the Supreme Court. Have y'all heard that at all?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Have not. No.
Yeah. So why is he talked about in the Supreme Court, Greg?
Joe Kennedy is the coach in Kentucky, I believe it was, that was praying at the end of the games and the school
Oh, yeah.
fired
Yeah,
him.
I know his
And hence the ACLJ, I think it was, lawsuit that they took him all the way to Supreme Court and he won. And so now schools need to know that coaches and students and teachers all have the right to express their religious beliefs if they're not demanding that other people do so.
Correct. Or using their position of authority to, force them to do it, I guess, back in the So, so it says the Supreme Court handed a big win to former Washington High School football coach who lost his job over reciting a prayer on the 50-yard line. So this guy used to get together with his students,
Anybody
athletes.
that wanted to. No
Right.
forced. Anybody that
So
wanted to.
he would just get, because he invited, if y'all want to do that, that's fine. I haven't found it yet. I'm sure he's some sort of like FCA kind of, is that what it's called? Position where he's got a great relationship with a lot of these kiddos anyways.
Actual positive peer pressure.
Exactly.
Emotion.
So he had at one point started this and kids saw it and they wanted to join in. So it wasn't like, hey, yeah, y'all need to come with me. They actually saw it and wanted to go join in with him, right? So then it became, okay, let's pray. I'm going to give you a little bit of inspiration right now. So he started doing these like quick inspirational, like before football games kind of things, but it was his faith-based kind of stuff. So the district didn't like it. When word came back, they were like, well, these students feel peer pressured because now you're coercing to have.
Well, let's not have a good influence on kids.
Exactly right.
Let's put them in all kinds of alternative, whatever pronoun they want to choose kind of thing.
Let's just go ahead and just pass them all the way up and they can't even put together a cohesive sentence. But yeah, so they got onto him. He stopped doing that, collectively kind of thing to where he would do the inspirational talks and stuff before games. And then he would just go privately pray by himself, not forcing anybody, and people would still see him and do it. So we'd go to the 50-yard line and pray. People would meet him after the game. Well, they still thought that was so upsetting that it just went through the court case and went through it. And so the court, they actually went all the way through it.
The school actually offered him his job back. I haven't heard anything if he took it or not, but they offered him his job back. They didn't offer him back pay, I don't think. So they're still in litigation with that.
Yeah. They were the school district's reasoning was that if they allowed Kennedy, their employee, to pray on the field at the school game, it would violate the First Amendment's Establishment Clause, which protects separation of church and state.
Which is not actually in the Constitution.
Exactly. Sounds like they need to go take their own history class to figure out what's actually going on.
They tried to rewrite it.
So it says that reasoning was misguided, the majority opinion said. Both the free exercise and free speech clauses of the First Amendment protect expressions like Mr. Kennedy's, nor does a proper understanding of the amendment's Establishment Clause require the government to single out private religious speech for special disfavor. Anyways, he actually got to the Supreme Court. They said he's got every right to go pray by himself, especially since he stopped doing all this other stuff. So that's a pretty huge win to go all the way up to the Supreme Court. It was a 6-3 decision as well. So we still got 3 people that said you can't pray on your own right. That's pretty sad. And then the Supreme Court.
So essentially, it was like the Tim Tebow effect, but at a high school level.
Yes.
But worse.
Yeah, and worse.
Because they fired him.
Yeah, and that guy doesn't have millions behind his name to help him out. The other thing that I don't know if y'all knew this or not, this is really none of the above. Taco Bell presents nationwide drag brunch tour featuring men dressed as women. All these pictures and stuff was all over the windows and stuff of Taco Bell and on their stuff. Gotta love that, huh? I thought that was, what a drag, huh?
Make a run for the border.
Yeah.
If you eat there anyway, it's a pig in a poke, literally.
Hello. But that's why they have the double decker, because you don't know if it's a soft taco or a crunchy.
He doesn't know its identity.
Anyways, that was just a couple of things that I found. I thought it'd be kind of cool to bring up, talk about.
And there you go.
Very
That's
nice.
essentially the kind of things we're going to talk about.
Food, fun, faith, football.
Amen. And the fighting Texas Aggie football team.
Oh, no.
Woo!
They're going to go 8-4.
Have y'all
again.
seen the new AP rankings yet?
Have they come out already?
They're ranked number 6.
Well, as Texas came out a long time ago. I'm sorry, Quentin, say that again.
They're ranked number 6.
Where was the Longhorns?
But it's preseason.
I couldn't
And
hear
then
you.
they'll
Where
lose
was the
the second
Longhorns?
game.
Where were the
so
Longhorns ranked?
They're out of the top 25. They don't need to be in the top
hello!
25, do they?
This is what's going to be the fun part of this show. You've
What's
got
funny-
3 Longhorns versus 1 Aggie.
Only time the rankings matters at the end of the year. Baby.
Exactly.
I'm going to
Cool.
celebrate any victory that I get. Thank you very much.
You got 3 Longhorns versus an Aggie. NFL side, you got 3 Cowboys versus a Packer.
You know what today is, Brett?
Correct. Hump day? No, that was yesterday.
Today
that was
is
yesterday.
Aggie Fact Thursday.
Oh, hit me.
And I'm going to give you an Aggie fact here. Kyle Umlang. Ready?
Hit me.
For those Aggies that are optimistic about this upcoming season, in the last 20 years, when ranked in the AP preseason poll, Texas A&M is 8-26 against ranked opponents during the regular season.
And what was the flip side of that, Mr. Know-It-All fact pusher? What is it in comparison to?
Just they're in the preseason poll.
Oh, okay.
Not even top 20. Just
Almost
top
like
25.
every other team that gets
So
overranked in the preseason.
8
yeah.
and 26 against ranked.
The only team that usually
opponents.
doesn't get overranked is Alabama. They're
Yeah.
always number 1.
Yeah, they're right there.
But that's because they're recruiting.
That's
class
only in the
is-
last 15 years.
Yeah.
20 years. Yeah, it's
So what
almost
was
2023.
Texas's record whenever they were ranked up there?
We did not state it, but we can look it up though. I would love to see that.
Comparisons always hurt.
I love
That's
the fact
Aggie
that
Fact
this-
Thursday.
I love the fact that this show, this part of this episode was unscripted, but
No, I had it wrote down.
it's supposed to be an introduction show,
Definitely
and then
not.
we've completely just like tailed off on it. I
Hey,
love it.
it's fine.
awesome.
That's what it's
Can I
fine.
introduce one more Aggie fact?
Please hit me.
Please don't.
I need
All
as many as
right,
I
one
can.
more Aggie Fact Thursday. All right, A&M football has 37 wins against Texas.
Yeah.
Texas got their 37th win against A&M in 1950.
Yeah. Who was the first Texas university? Texas A&M. Little stepsisters got to get some
They're
wins.
The
We
little
got.
brother now. though.
That's the same thing I
don't
taught
know.
Dax was you got to let your little sister win. You got to let Clara win. You give her some motivation. Give her some encouragement to live life. You
Get
know,
all the money. That's all that matters.
got all the money.
A&M has all the
Yeah.
money.
You got all
We
the
got
money.
all
You
the
can pay
wins.
off all the rest.
How about the Packers though?
I mean,
Jay?
they're working.
It's not looking too good right now for Aaron Rodgers and
Aaron
preseason
Rodgers.
camp. He's saying all the receivers can't
I
catch a
thought that
ball.
was
He's
Nicolas
looking a little
Cage from
mad.
Con Air.
Isn't it? What was that dude's name? I sent the picture in the group chat of his character in Con Air. I can't remember what his name was. But yeah, straight up looking just like him. But no, I mean, it's they're going to have their ebb and flows. I mean, you got a pretty much the only seasoned receiver he has out there right now, Sammy Watkins, and that guy is prone to injury every time he steps on the field. So the most disappointing for me is the Chris Watson guy they drafted out of North Dakota, South Dakota State, wherever Dakota he came from. Supposed to be built like Devontae Adams. They're calling him Devontae 2.0, and the guy's already hurt. I'm like, well, there you go. Devontae 2.0, you're already hurt. So, but in his defense, Devontae Adams came out his rookie year, got hurt, had his first 1,000-yard season. I think it was like year 2 or 3.
I think the first 2 years Devontae was a little underperforming, and then the third year he kind of broke
Yeah.
out and came on the
I
scene.
mean, it's stereotypical of any rookie receiver that comes out of the draft. I mean, college and the NFL are two different things. Speeds are way different.
Yeah, that's why the
I know.
Cowboys are still adjusting.
Was that what it is?
We're still trying to get our quarterback on.
Des caught it. That's all I got to say.
Des caught it. By God.
Des.
In theory, by the rule that year, it was not a catch.
No.
In theory,
That
the refs
To
came
every-
back and said it
To
was a
every
catch.
guy except
Yes.
the one on the field and the 2 in the booth,
yeah,
it was a catch.
that
It
was
was rigged.
rigged.
I mean, that was about as blatant as
Speaking of pitiful, Texas Longhorns football is in free fall and it still hasn't hit rock bottom. Clumsy administrators, meddling boosters, blown double-digit leads, a 6-game losing streak, and a home loss to lowly Kansas. What's next? That's on Texas Monthly.
Oh.
which is written by Aggie. I'm not
Yeah.
expect.
I've never heard
Actually,
of Texas.
well, that-
I don't
Monthly.
think so.
that is my one complaint about the University of Texas is they let the boosters pretty much have free reign over everything.
Yeah,
And I mean,
know.
I feel like that's at any big school.
Oh, it's at any school.
I think
period.
Alabama.
But-
I mean,
I mean, you look at Alabama and Nick Saban. Nick Saban's like, no, this is
No, I think you're
I don't
wrong.
know,
I think everybody falls on it's money. It's all about the money. They're not going to turn away their money, people.
if
Is Nick-
Saban went on a losing streak,
oh yeah.
you could see something like that. But I don't know. I really think some coaches have way more control. I mean, you see it in the NFL. Look at Jerry Jones. He owns the team. Like nobody really wants to work underneath Jerry Jones. And the best thing that would happen to that team is if he would actually relinquish control to it, to actually have a head coach. It kind of translates to college too. If you actually have a good head coach, he kind of owns the boosters. It's, I mean,
So I mean,
but-
why would you not? I mean, if you're winning, if A&M was winning, what would
Yeah.
happen there? It'd be awesome.
I would
It's not
actually
gonna happen.
celebrate.
I mean, if the recipe works, I mean,
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean,
Mhm.
follow the money.
Oh, no doubt. No
And
doubt.
you're not going to take off your boosters,
because
right?
winning
Yeah.
solves everything.
Absolutely not.
the boosters are going to pay for everything.
I mean, in 2005, Texas was top of the world with Vince Young and Mac Brown, and it was all cool until Mac lost
Mhm.
his freaking head. So, I mean, really, it's pretty simple.
Did you see
That's it.
now, though, the new rule is that coaches can pay for meals and parking tickets.
They've been paying for meals.
No, like it's official now.
Well, you can pay for anything as long as you're not caught.
I mean,
Ask
it-
A&M last year.
No, A&M was proven to be in the right.
Not yet.
Time and time again, they've
Not
been proven.
yet.
I mean, I feel like they've always been able to pay for meals. I mean, it's just what are you going to do when you go meet a recruit? Hey, let's take you out to a steak dinner. I want to.
They got a certain amount they can do.
Yeah.
A certain time period they can do. I've always had those.
I mean, they're not going to show up with a Ferrari and then be like, "Hey."
But like Quinn said, now though, yesterday they started being able to take care of parking fees for kids. I'm going, what? The NCAA is a joke.
Oh yeah, for
It's
sure.
a joke. And they've been toothless since the SMU deal. They've done a little bit of stuff, but SMU, they really burnt their bridge on that deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
because, SMU shouldn't know what they did, but then you can't just go kill a football program.
Oh yeah. Well, I
You
tell
get
you, like
this.
I don't think that the college players need to be paid necessarily, like
they are.
for their like a yearly salary. But like whenever the NCAA football game comes out, like this goes back to Manziel. Manziel sold tons of jerseys,
Sure.
Oh,
but he
easily.
never got anything
No.
because of it. But that university made so much money
Sure.
off of
Particularly
Johnny
off
Money
that,
football, and
How did they upgrade the stadium last year or 2 years ago?
I thought it was because of Booster.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
way that Texas got that multi-million-dollar locker room they got.
Yeah. But they, I mean, I would love to see if you graduate, then you could get a sum of money after that. That would be something that I would think that would be beneficial.
Every
for them.
SMU player is making $35,000 next year.
Yeah.
Football and basketball.
Wow, there you go.
Every one of them.
That's NIL though, right? That's a collective paying that.
Yeah.
The boosters
Yeah.
Exactly.
collective.
But that's the collectives to the school on that deal.
I heard Mac Brown talk about this yesterday though, and he said he's worried because all the smaller schools are not going to be able to
No,
afford
you
this,
can't.
and they're
Oh,
going to
no.
fade
No,
out.
yeah,
no
and
way.
it's
You're
going to be
gonna
like
have to.
64 teams.
You got two tiers. You're going to have the SEC and the Pac and the Big Ten and
Some
the
Pac-12s
I don't know who else, but then everybody else.
and
Yeah.
ACC.
So it's going to be.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
everybody else is going to be the ones that are hungry.
It's going to be a 32 team conference
It's going to be ridiculous.
both ways, so 64 teams total.
And why did Texas and Oklahoma vote last year? That's why.
Mhm.
They knew what was coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it ticked me off the most with Texas when they came up with the Longhorn Network.
But they were on top of the
But they-
world. That's why they did it. Why not?
Well, they wanted to be on top of the world.
Oh yeah, they wanted to be on top of the world, but
Wait.
now every other conference they were trying to join was like, no, you got to nix the Longhorn Network.
Well, yeah, it's retarded.
Well, Matt
Here's-
Brown was talking yesterday, and he said they almost had the Pac-12 deal signed, and then the next day they came
Yep.
out with the Longhorn Network, and that prevented them from going to the
ESPN stopped
Pac-12.
it.
Mhm.
So it
Yep.
kind of helped us, honestly, because I'd rather be in the SEC 10 years later than the Pac-12 playing against USC and UCLA every year.
When is it we officially joined the SEC?
2 more years.
2 more years.
Officially, probably next year though.
Unless ESPN decides to do their thing, which they could do. I mean, they could do it whenever
What's
they want to.
ESPN trying to do?
TV deal.
ESPN's the controller of all the TV money. So whenever they say you
Oh,
can,
yeah.
they can.
Right.
Because right now they're saying that OU's on one hold it back because they don't have any money. They can't pay the buyout to the Big 12.
Of course,
And
it's
ESPN
OU.
doesn't have
Nobody
any
wants
money
to go
because they're
there.
hurt because they're tied to Disney and Disney.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. They're really hurting because of all their left leaning stuff is
Yeah.
getting exposed.
Just show sports. It's pretty
Getting
easy.
caught red-handed. You would think so. God bless it.
That
Yeah.
hard.
It's just like Taco Bell. Stick to your daggum tacos. We don't need no drag queens on the freaking windows. My gosh. Come on with it.
I
Hey,
haven't ate Taco Bell in I don't know how long.
I just ate it the other day.
If you
Hey.
saw how it was made, you wouldn't either.
No, no.
Oh yeah, this fake meat. That's
I
all right.
worked there for like 2 weeks in high school, and then I quit because I was like, I'm not going to work the place that I love to eat all the time.
So whenever Trey played baseball, which he's not going back, this year. He's actually taking fire tests. Pretty proud of him. He played at SFA, and he went to TJC, and then he went to Texas Wesleyan. And he said the school that treated him the absolute best was TJC.
Sure.
He had 2 Division I schools. SFA is pretty clout. I mean, that's a pretty
Yeah.
big name. I know more so in Texas, but they've got some clout behind their name. And then Texas Wesleyan, not so much. But he was just astounded how much better, like meal wise, everything else was so much better at TJC. Now they won the national championship for the JUCO level, but and SFA not so much. But they still had a competitive ball team, and they were nationally renowned or whatever. But you look at their locker room at SFA, it's like it's like a FEMA trailer.
Yeah, it looks like
It's
a high school
ridiculous.
locker
I
room.
will
Yes.
refrain from talking about SFA. I mean, I went to North Texas, so I'm going to talk about them.
Well, there you go.
A little rivalry here.
Green machine.
It's not a rivalry. It's just, I'm going to talk about them.
Yeah, I mean, but the only way SFA gained the clout that they got is the last 2 or 3 years. They've made national tournament basketball.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the only way that they've started that steam. I mean, It's been consistently for the last 3 or 4 years. They've been.
But didn't they get in trouble with something though?
Yes, they
recruiting
did.
violations.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
got those
All the
recruiting
same
violations
stuff,
just
yeah.
like everybody else has. You had one job and you messed it up.
I'll be honest. I'll be scared to death to be a recruiter. I mean, it's got to be you've got to hit every line, and if you get somebody that like Craig wanted,
Yeah.
and he's going to call me out on it, now I got to get investigated, because he wanted you. That is
Yeah,
got to
you
be
gotta-
a brutal world.
You got to toe the line.
You got to be a salesman.
Oh, I would. I think
a
I'd be okay with
recruiter.
that. Just going
Over-
and talking to somebody, I could do that.
Overpromise.
I think I could do
Over
that.
promise and under deliver.
I'd just be scared of all the rules. Luckily, I'm not around a preacher or anything, but I kind of always skip the rules.
Oh wait, there is one here.
He lives next door to me.
You'll always watch.
Can't escape.
Live next door, go to church, see him all the time, and now you're on a podcast show with him. So,
That's it.
Can't get any closer than that, can you?
No.
All right, what's next, DJ?
We got any
What's up?
other
What's
topics
next?
that we want to?
When does Edgewood start their football?
First
Friday.
official game.
Yeah, next Friday.
Next Friday?
Actually,
They're playing Kemp, aren't they?
Is it?
Labor Day weekend.
Is that the
They're at Commerce and Labor Day weekend at home, first home game.
first home game?
And I'm the voice of the Edgewood football again. Thank you very much.
The
Golden
voice.
Tones.
You've got the golden tones of Craig Law. All right, I got a
Jim
question
Nance
for you there,
voice.
Craig. How do you think they're going to do this year? Edgewood.
I don't know.
Haven't seen anything?
Heck, no, I haven't
Hey,
seen
they
them.
made the magazine cover.
They didn't make
That
them.
was done by specially.
I think they do it every
They do it for
city
every
they
high
go
I'm just
school.
saying they made a magazine cover.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
we
it
can
wasn't
make our
just
own.
a magazine cover. It was Dave Kendall's
Yeah, it was Dave Campbell.
Texas football.
Yeah, but hey, that's big time. Okay, I've never seen myself on a magazine cover.
There's a reason for that. You do have a face radio, remember?
I mean, I think I've seen you on a wanted post.
No, I took care of it.
I know that over the summer, the defensive line went and did those those national defensive line contests
Yeah.
or whatever.
I think it's getting more and more common.
I do think that their line's gonna be good this year, and they got the senior quarterback with Wilcox, and I think they'll be all right. It depends on if they've grown up any receivers or not, because all the receivers graduated, running backs graduated. It's gonna be a brand new look on offense with those
Wow.
kind of guys.
Yeah, I think the skill positions are going to be. That's where the question is. Like you said, are the receivers fast enough? Is the running back fast enough, big enough?
Probably got the best line
This
since
area.
about 2008 when they had that big crew come through. It was
Yeah.
really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And so is it 11?
When I was waterboarding.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, that was a huge line with Oldfield and several and Travis, some really good big guys that were there. And at our level of play, the line makes the difference.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, if you don't have, I know it's every level of play, but specifically a small school,
Yeah,
because and we've had a dearth of big players.
that's a
We've
good
had
word.
a couple sprinkled here and there, but not really a good crop.
Oh,
But now
we've
we got a good
always just
crop.
heavily relied on speed. That's all
Yeah.
we've always
Yeah.
relied on.
So that's the way it's always been. Even back to the years that we only won one game a year against Alba Golden.
Yeah, one time.
I don't know what our district's going to be. We're going to do different districts this year. Usually
They
different
play
districts.
ARP this year. Is that correct?
Troop, ARP, and so you got to watch those. Those are two big schools.
Boy, yeah, that's
So
big
I
time.
don't know about other guys. We'll see.
And we play Winona, and Winona's always fast.
Yeah, Winona's
They got
always-
some athletes.
They've always had
But
speed.
Grand Selena's in our district again this year.
Are they?
Are they really?
Yeah.
I see it right
That's
here.
exciting.
So that should be
Heck
at
yeah.
Grand Selene. I
Bring
would
back
love
the
to go to
Salt
that
Lakers.
game.
That's what I was looking at. So we're playing Commerce, and then the second, what you were talking about, September 2nd, that's rain. So I'm going to be conflicted. I don't even know what to wear that day.
You're always complete.
Half
know what you
blue,
should
half
do?
purple.
Get a shirt, cut it in half,
Okay.
and then have
Sew it
Brooklyn sew it
together.
and
together.
shirt divided.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one side.
The
One side
shirt
be
divided
Edgewood.
itself cannot stick. Like rip it off.
So we're playing Reigns.
I actually saw a guy in college football. He did that for his. He had a daughter and a son. One
Oh,
went
yeah.
to Texas. One
Oh,
went
yeah.
to OU, and he stitched
Red
two
and
shirts
orange.
Oh, no
together.
doubt.
We play
Elkhart. I don't even know
Elkhart.
where Elkhart is.
That's out towards Palestine.
Yeah,
isn't
it's just outside of Palestine.
Okay. It's non-district. And then
it? Or the Elks.
Winona, Grand Saline, Troop, Quitman, ARP,
ARP is
and
good.
West Rusk, New London.
I don't know about
West Russ is always good too.
Yeah.
So
ARP is always good.
But man, we played them a long time ago. I haven't seen.
I haven't played him in football in forever. Basketball, we're always on a basketball schedule. And I never understood that. Why does UIL have different basketball conference than they have
it
for
makes
football?
total sense.
It's totally stupid.
Jeez.
You can't have rivalries. There's
No,
no,
you
rivalries.
can't.
Yeah, you can.
The only rivalry you can have is if you have a tournament weekend and you get
True.
your rival to come into play.
Well, you remember?
That's
Stupid.
it.
Remember when we were in high school and in Grand Saline? I mean, it was
Oh yeah.
ugly.
Oh yeah.
Even in basketball, I mean, we'd be standing room on when Edgewood and Grand Saline. would
Not
play.
anymore.
No.
There's not really a rivalry.
It's not
there
the same.
No,
You
anymore.
it's,
can't
it's
do
not
it.
the same.
I
You
think
never
they
played.
took
Not even
away
Canton either.
rivalries
Yeah.
on purpose. I don't even know. Like,
And Canton used to be a big rivalry in basketball.
yeah,
Every
Yeah.
year.
But then they got bad, so it's a stomp
Yeah.
mud hole in them.
yeah. Well, so did Grant Saline because
We
They-
did.
they
yeah,
moved
that's
up.
True.
and then
And then
they
they got
came crashing
trounced.
back down. Oh
They got,
man,
when they bumped up, because I
Yeah.
think they went 4A for just like a split second, and came down, or was it 3A?
No,
when
it's
they
just
came
big.
back?
It's a big school, a different division.
I forget whatever it was.
3A Division 2.
They went from kicking tail to getting their tail kicked every
yeah,
week.
they bumped up, seen size.
And I always had this question: how is Mineola the same division we are? I mean, they got a Walmart.
Hell
And a
no.
Whataburger.
Yes.
And a Whataburger.
I mean, I know we have
Yes.
$2 stores. They got a Walmart,
Hey, we got a
I'm
Brooks's
telling
too.
you. What Tango got 3.
and they got a Sears Home. With the 3 what?
Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, Dollar General.
Well, Family Dollar,
Once
Dollar General,
combined.
Family Dollar, and Dollar Tree are kind of inbred now because they're one store.
No, that is
okay.
a very
True
unlucky
statement.
That's a-
relationship there. Yes.
Merge made in heaven.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
My
that's-
prediction, I think, is
They're gonna split up.
I think we can do
I
how
think
many
Dollar
games
General's
is
going
it?
to take
total?
them.
10 games or 9 or 11 games?
No, they're 10 games high
10
school.
games?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think we can go 7-3.
I don't even know how they're playing, so I don't know how it
If
works.
the quarterback can stay
I mean,
consistent.
I
I
we
guess we'll
lose
have
to
to see.
ARP, West Rusk, and Wynot.
So we'll have to find out how they play Commerce next Friday. Right.
yeah, that'll be the determining factor. On
Never. No, you can't base your season off commerce. Sorry.
You think so?
Because we 2 years
mean, it'll
ago
give you
we
a good
whooped
look
them, and then
at-
it was a bad season.
I always like
Commerce
playing up
is
though in these first games.
always never what you think they'll be.
Yeah,
They can be
But-
it can be really good or they can be really bad.
you can look and see how well we're working together.
Yeah.
Seeing if we can put some plays together or not.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get a coach. Coach G is a great guy.
Yeah.
Was he the same coach last year?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He
And
wears
so
the hat backwards.
it just depends on
You know you're a real coach when you wear your hat back.
I like it.
it just depends on the offense.
Yeah.
That's as far as I'll go.
Don't get so defensive.
What I'm
about
saying is, Coach, still get your stuff together, bro.
it.
If you want to call in and defend yourself, coach, we'll allow it.
You're always welcome on this show.
I
Call
doubt-
in right now. Right now.
I doubt that he'll listen, but I can help you. We've been praying for you.
Figure we attach Brett Irwin's name to this show. We're going to lose a lot of potential listeners.
Beretti win.
It's for us anyhow.
If you listen this far, you get an extra jewel in heaven. Trust me.
Yeah, no doubt. You are welcome.